Yo, Clay, what's good, bro? Thanks for hopping on Burbs Interviews.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, man, growing up in Memphis, and what is your musical background like?
Um, I'm 24, man. I'm from Memphis. When I was growing up, my parents kind of like put instruments in my hand, like the violin, saxophone, shit of that nature. And you know, that was viewed as lame. So I kind of always wanted to kind of stay in the musical realm, though. So I want to say around the time I was like 17, I became an audio engineer. You know what I mean? That kind of like allowed me to meet a lot of people. I was still making music at the time, but the narrative was a little different. You know what I mean? Like the shit that I do 7 years ago wasn't heard of at all. Like the pain music, auto tune, that shit was weird to people, especially where I'm from. But like being other people's engineer from the city, it kind of changed the narrative to like, okay, that shit's weird, but we're gonna fuck with it because we fuck with you. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, just normal upbringing. It was cool. I'm
Cool,
still
cool.
here, so you know.
Hell yeah, well, I'm glad you're still here, brother.
Facts.
Um, I was watching an interview, recent interview, and I know you said in the interview that you didn't want to sign, period. You liked
No.
being in control of your music. What made you sign to DOA/Warner, and what is it like, being a part of such a great team like Tay, Nick, Tyland, and Cam?
So I don't lie. I won't necessarily say they were on my ass, but we were around each other, you know what I mean? One big motivational force behind me signing to DOA was Cambrian Strong, which is Tay Keith's manager. And we met in LA maybe like fall 2018. And like the first day I met him, like when he heard my music, he was invested because I was telling him like, I want you to be my manager. Like I had nothing going on, so I really didn't even have shit to manage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the music was there. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me like, bro, this is what we want to do. And I want to say like a year later, 2 years later, like I said, I'm so stuck in my ways. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like I just won with it. Like it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And as it got broke, because I'm so used to dealing with other artists and hearing them say, I hate this label shit. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. So off of the strength of them saying that, I always told myself, like, shit, that ain't no shit I'm trying to get into. Because I'm hearing you say this shit, and I know, like, I'm around you every day. So if you're saying it, my situation can't be any indifferent to what you're dealing with. But I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say that I'm completely happy with my situation. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm impatient as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't wait for this shit to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, actually, I think you said it in a quote in your last interview. I thought it was great. Our situation is going to be a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but our journey is going to be a little bit longer, as in sense of, your career is going to be long lasting, which is
Facts.
which is a lot better than, having a one hit wonder and you're gone.
Facts.
Just from your album, there's, four or five great songs. So,
Thank you.
definitely not a one hit wonder, man. But throughout your journey, you were explaining that, Tay showed a lot of interest in signing you. I know at first you were like, stop with the BS and all. Like, I don't want to hear this. But when the
I hate
time
that shit.
came, you signed, and Tay threw that, the clay chain on your neck. What was that moment like? I mean, that had to have been a milestone in your life.
Yeah, it was kind of unbelievable. I've spent it's 2021. I've probably spent the last 3 years of my life around a good friend of mine and Tay Keith's BlocBoy JB. I probably
Mm.
spent like every day of my life around him for like the past 2, 3 years. And I used to put his chain on. Like I used to be like, shit. Like fucking. I used to put it on, took pictures with it and shit. I'm like, man, I can't wait till I get a chain one day. Then I finally got it, and I was like, shit. Like I see how it feels. The first person I called when I got my chain was Block. Real shit.
That's awesome. That's
Facts.
great. Yeah, I mean, I know I saw your face when you were putting that on. You were definitely inside happy as hell.
Facts.
Uh, but you told me last week that you were, getting acclimated to, the whole major signing. Has that kind of caused pressure or relief to your life,
Uh,
or either? Both.
I would definitely say more pressure.
Okay.
Like man, like I said, being an engineer, I've been away from home. You know what I'm saying? I've been, you know, not answering the phone for people because I'm so busy, shit like that. But, you know, as I get older, I'm starting getting this mindset of like, fuck, where is all this time going? My niece's birthday just passed. My niece is 17 now. If God's my witness, I probably haven't seen my niece since she was like 14, 15. And like, I sit back and I tell myself like, fuck, like, was I that busy? You know what I mean? Like, am I that busy? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's weird sometimes. And like you sit back and you tell yourself like, man, they understand, they know. But you know, a lot of people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, even if you break it down to them. You know what I'm saying? So having it act like I'm not affected emotionally is probably like the biggest fault when it comes to dealing with this shit. Like having to actually still have a normal life and deal with this shit sucks.
Yeah, that's a big thing for sure. And I played Division I lacrosse in college. Not anymore. I unfortunately got hurt. But people don't realize that we have so much going on outside of our real life. People think these athletes, these high paid rappers, superstar, entertainment people don't live a normal life when they have like mental health issues and stuff like that.
Right.
So I totally agree with you, bro. Like what somebody goes through in a day, and they on TV they might be happy, but when they get home they might be down in the dumps. I totally understand what you're saying there. And recently, I know your project If We Must Die, awesome project, man.
Thank you.
Top to bottom, must have meant a lot to you, considering it was your first project under a major. Like we said, what was that creation process like? Was it were these songs made during 2020, or were these like kind of songs you built up for the past 2 or 3 years?
I think the oldest song on that project was Family Guy. That was probably the first song that I recorded. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna build around this. The project
Gotcha.
itself is probably, and that was 2019.
Okay.
So like the project has probably been done, man, honestly, since like February 2020. Real
Okay.
shit.
So a year ago, a year and a month.
Facts.
Wow.
But the last song that got recorded was Homies with Trippie Redd and Block. And that may have been like fall 2020. But it's been done definitely for a year.
Cool. Was the BlocBoy and Trippie Redd song, was that recorded on tour when you went on tour with them, or was that
Yeah.
okay?
It
Okay,
was, yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Did you I'm guessing you kind of built a pretty good relationship with Trippie, considering he's on your project. Would you want to be working with him in the future also? I think
Hell
that
yeah.
song you guys collided super well.
A lot of people don't even know this either. I haven't told anyone, so I'm gonna stay here. We're about to shoot the video. So that's gonna be like, yeah,
Thank,
super fucking,
thank you for
yeah.
announcing that. That's awesome, bro.
Facts. We're about to shoot the video. We just got we've been waiting on his schedule. Of course, he's a lot more busier than I am.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting on him to like give us his availability, and he just reached back and was like, I'm free then. Let's do it. I was like, shit, say no more. And he cleared it for free. Block cleared it for free, of course. So like that itself, people pay. He was telling me like it's $100,000 for a feature from Trippie Redd. I got it for free. So shout out to him and everybody that has anything to do with him. That was love. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying?
That,
Facts.
that that song is crazy, like for sure.
Facts.
Definitely in a lot of my playlists.
Definitely.
Um, like we just said, you're working with BlocBoy JB, working with Trippie Redd. What was it like, working with artists, NBA YoungBoy, Rico Nasty, Yo Gotti? Did that kind of solidify you in a way where, in 2018, 2019 when you started working with them? And then
Yep.
you're getting in the room with Trippie Redd and BlocBoy. I know you've been friends with BlocBoy for a long time, but building those relationships, did that kind of groom you to have this mentality now that you're going to be one day a superstar?
Definitely. And I like to add too, I met all of them being able to be around Block as well. But man, it's definitely like seeing people's creative process, you know what I'm saying, being around them and then being around like their entourages, becoming acclimated to different people's like ways of life. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
definitely think it's made me one of two things, like not go for a lot of shit, and it's made me like really humble. and you get a chance to see how lame shit really is too. You know what I'm saying? Like rap is like, it's just weird. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. People are weird. Not to say that those people are weird, but like,
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, facts.
You around. I mean, you're around, like you
Facts.
see everything now. I know one thing that you do is you engineer all of your work. I found that super fascinating. Like every time I see you in a picture in the studio, you have the mic next to you and then you're right there. I think that shit is so sick. Exactly.
I'm doing it now.
Hell yeah. Is that your studio?
No, this is a friend of mine's studio in South Haven, Track Nation. This is where I used to work at when I was an engineer.
Damn, bro, you stole one of my questions. I was about to, I actually texted Track Nation like an hour ago. I wanted to ask him where you grew up, you know, engineering. I thought that's where it was, but that's awesome, bro. So I love that, you know, you're still there in Track. By the way, that studio is beautiful. But yeah, dude, I found that super fascinating that, you know, you record everything on your own. So does that mean you're kind of very trustworthy and, you know, independent?
Hell yeah. Man, all of my friends know how to engineer, bro. They just, not to down them, but I don't know. It's like I'll record with someone, but they might miss it. It's just weird. Like my creative process is like really weird. Like you would damn near have to see it in person. It's just all over the fucking place.
I mean, you got to be different to make it, you know, make a good story out of yourself. Right. You know, most people that are, you know, big now, there's always a different story. You know, everyone wants to follow you know, a lane. There's no lane in the music industry. If you create your own, most likely, you know, you'll be bigger than the next, or, you know, or you'll be big. I know you said that, you know, you engineer, and then you also said you have a lot of close friends that produce. Have they been around you in your journey for a long time now, or are these kind of recent friends that you've grown since, you know, around 2017, 2018?
I met Ricky Devane maybe like 2015. So he was still in high school. Like Ricky's young as hell. So if I'm 24, I think Ricky's like 21, maybe. So at the time I was 17, he was like 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So that shit was like weird. I met Hit Kid maybe like 2017 as well. But we've always been like really familiar with each other. Like we used to see each other in passing because he used to come to like studio sessions with people that I engineered and he would be there. But we never really just spoke to each other. Like, and then one day I think he found out that I made music and he was like, "Why you never said anything?" I was like, "Shit, I don't know." Like I'm not an opportunist, if that makes any sense. Like just to add that in there. Like if I was recording someone, like a lot of times I was recording Block and we'll be in the room with say fucking anybody, like even Gotti. Like Gotti had to find out on his own. He followed me on Instagram and then the next day he was like, "You rap?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Why you never said anything?" It's like, it's not my place to say anything. I'm here as an engineer. I'm not here as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like if I'm recording Block and then I go to Gotti, like, "Hey man, you know I rap too." I feel like that's hating or like opportunist type shit. I've never been like that. Like if you found that on your own, now we can have a conversation about it. But I never wanted to make it feel like I was taking somebody else's shine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, keeping your head down and doing your work, doing your part. Right. And like you said, an opportunist most likely will have someone, you know, he'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I got to do this, I do this." But if you kind of let things just go and pave its own way, it'll probably work out better than, you know, you begging somebody to check out, you know, your mixtape you dropped last week. If there was, you know, I know you were a very good engineer, but if there was, you know, a Mount Rushmore of engineers in the game today or, you know, in the past, who would you put up there?
Mike Dean for sure. Just everything he does is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, he is.
There's
he just
a guy
did my
named
buddy's project.
Oh man, that's hard.
Yeah, Mosa, you gotta check him out.
What's his name?
Mosa, Heartbreak Mosa. He's fire.
Check that out.
He signed to Jazz Prince.
That's hard. Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
That's hard. Hector Delgado, who's ASAP Rocky's engineer. He
Okay.
was he's a really good engineer as well. He's actually responsible for teaching me how to get credited properly as an engineer. So shout out to him. And Leo Goff is Yo Gotti's engineer. And he was very hands-on with me, like when because Block signed to Yo Gotti. A lot of people know, but they don't really know. He signed to Gotti in Interscope. So when I first got around Gotti, like I knew what I was doing on a digital side, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in these big rooms, knobs and switches and big shit. I didn't know what none of that shit did. So Leo was like really responsible for doing a lot of shit he didn't have to do. Like he'll come in and be like, this is what this does and this is what that does and shit like that. So Leo taught me how to be a proper engineer. I'll give him that.
That's sick. That's awesome.
But,
And I was gonna say, you know, or you just putting yourself up there, but
yeah,
uh, I would say so for sure. I
yeah.
need put some respect on the name, bro. Uh,
Thanks.
I need to ask, you know, what is up with you in plaid shirts? Don't get me wrong, I love plaid shirts, but I had to ask. I had to ask.
I don't know, man. Man, when I was in high school, no, when I was a kid, right, I went to private school, you know what I'm saying? So we used to always wear uniforms and shit. It
Same,
wasn't
yeah.
until I was in like the 8th or ninth grade I went to public school. And I went to Center Hill in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And we didn't have a fucking uniform. The only thing you had to do was tuck your shirt in. And I remember my mom used to buy me like these old Navy shirts or some shit. And I just stuck with them, like the plaid shit. I just fuck with it. I don't know, like the button ups. I don't know.
No, dude,
It's like,
I actually lived in Nashville for the past year. But you know, when I was living in Philly, South Jersey area, I would love, you know, my plaid with a t-shirt under and some Timbs, you know, nothing wrong with that.
some
Uh,
Tims.
I haven't worn Timbs in a minute though. I know before you also, or in one of your interviews, you said that you graduated from Lemoyne Owen. Was just, you know, interested in that. You know, you didn't study engineering or anything there. You actually were a political science major. Tell me a little bit about, you know, your 4 years in college and, you know, what made you step away from the lawyer path, the attorney path to, you know, making music.
So my pops is a local politician in Memphis. So I've been around that atmosphere since I was a kid, hearing all the shit he used to talk about. And, you know, unfortunately, that shit bled into me, you know? So I always grew up with the idea of, man, I'm gonna be just like my pops, like, period, everything, you know what I mean? So, like, my career choice was definitely influenced by him. And yeah, man, I had a pretty bland college experience. Like, Lemoyne's very small, like, you know what I'm saying? Really fucking small, like, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't really like a party life. There wasn't a, you know what I'm saying? There's one fucking dorm, you know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
just really, it just felt like, you know what I'm saying? It was great though. They did everything that they could do. I definitely in the future want to be able to bring like resources back to the school because for whatever reason, like I just feel like it needs to be updated. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that they're just missing. But it's a great school.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, man. I also like that, you know, you want to one day want to help out there and, you know, bring back, you know, some value from yourself. And, you know, they definitely had to have a part, you know, maybe, you know, your destin was that you didn't need to go out and party. You had to block down in the studio and engineer and, you know, do those things, which is, you know, what led you to where you are at now.
Thanks.
Who knows if you went to, you know, MTSU with Tay and you would have been partying and stuff. But did you play any sports growing up, or were you kind of strictly an artistic type of person?
Man, I played you know, I played what they call white sports, soccer, golf. I was never good at basketball, football, none of that shit. I played like I was on the fucking swim team. Like I played unconventional sports, seriously. Like, and I was like really good. I played varsity fucking soccer, varsity golf. You
Good
know what I
shit.
mean? Yeah, I did shit everybody else wasn't doing, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. You know, I just got into golf because I'm done with, you know, lacrosse, but Look, golf is a great sport. Played soccer my senior year. My buddy, he's a point guard at Florida State, Anthony Polite.
Oh
He
shit.
actually just went off in the March Madness, but he played against Ja Morant in the first round of the March Madness 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I went to the game. You know, are you a Memphis Grizzlies fan?
Yeah. Yeah, for the sake of saying, hell yeah. I fuck with John Morant. I'm probably a fan just off of him solely.
Yeah. You know, he's a dog. That man is different. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, future, you know, for Clay Krucial.
Man, I said in the interview with Jumped Off the Porch, like I said all the time, I've been saying it, everything's just going to be God level, you know what I mean? And that's really it. I've been in the studio. I was in the studio on the day my album dropped. I've been in the studio every day since then. Like, I'm just, man, I'm trying to make this shit work. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know it's going to work, like you said, or, you know what I'm saying, paraphrasing. It's just taking longer because it's going to last longer. I truthfully believe that. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping, I'm praying to God I'm right. Seriously.
Yeah, man. I mean, one thing I could say is just keep your head up and keep working, bro, because like you are right now, you're in the studio, man. And, you know, it's a Thursday at, I mean, my time, 7:00, you know, and we're working. This is work, you know, we're promoting you. I think this is great though, dude. You know, you have a great career ahead of you. One thing I thought is really cool is that, you know, you're signed to a label that is a lot of producers. And now that you're an engineer, you're perfecting your sound. So your sound is gonna be, you know, up top ahead of a lot of other people because, you know, you're around producers. That's what, you know, makes this music sound good. So, you know, you have a really bright future ahead of you, man. And right now, you know, thank you for hopping on. But, you know, if you want to promote or, you know, shout anybody out, you're welcome to, bro.
Man, shout out to Hint Kid. He just got here. He's eating wings and shit.
What we do, man?
Man, I'm about to go eat dinner too, man.
Other than that, man, shout out to you for reaching out. I really appreciate it. I hate that I took so long to kind of, you know.
No, you're good, Clay. No big deal, bro. I was talking to Tyland yesterday, so I told him I was interviewing you. But I really, man, I appreciate you hopping on, man, and much love from Burbs. We're a big fan of you, and we're here for your career journey. Let us know if you have any write-ups you want us to do for albums or singles, and we'll get those done for you, man. We'd be happy to.
Gotcha.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for hopping on, man. I'll talk to you soon. I'll shoot you over everything. See you, brother.
Oh, gotcha.